Hi, folks, and welcome back to Money and Politics on November the 9th. And I'm going to be revisiting a stock that we talked about not too long ago, but it's had some amazing movement since I featured it back around October 28th. And that company is Voyager, and Voyager is somewhat of a competitor on some lines with Humble. It's not an exact comparison, but close enough here. And there's the stock symbol. Let me move out of the way here for Voyager Digital. And let's look at the stock price. And as I said, I was talking about this back on October 28th. If you look right about that time, the stock price then was down around 850. I think I remember talking about when it was about this price, right about $10 or so, and saying how, if it went up just $2, you'd have a 20% movement. Well, in that short amount of time, we have had a double, and now we are at $20.35, which is a 7.7% movement today. And the other thing is, notice the volume on this. They've been averaging 800 and about 30,000 shares traded daily over the last 10 days. Today, they did close to 1.6 million. So basically about a double in volume and up 7%. And a couple of things that we should bring to your attention on that is that we're going to have Voyager having their earnings call, and they just announced that a week from today, on November the 16th, Tuesday, November 16th, at 8 a.m. Eastern time. So that's early in the morning, but before the market opens, 7 a.m. Central time here, obviously in the United States. They're going to have their financials for the first quarter of 2022. Their fiscal year starts January 1, so they're going to be reporting on let me back up. Their fiscal year starts July 1, so they're going to be reporting for July, August, and September. And so these are going to be for the quarter ended September 30, but for Voyager, that is the first quarter of their fiscal year 2022 fiscal year. So that'll be coming out a week from today. But when you get a movement, as we just had, on that kind of a volume, then that is something I wanted to bring to your attention. Again, this is in the cryptocurrency realm. It's a platform. It's a Canadian company. And we say, let me bring this over, that Voyager is one of the fastest growing publicly traded cryptocurrency platforms in the United States. And that is what they are doing. They also had that announcing yesterday, and let me just bring this up. I don't know if I copied the link to that. Okay. So you can see what I'm reading. And it is that Voyager integrated into Coinify's global payment platform. So it says Voyager, one of the fastest growing platforms in the United States, announced the integration of the Voyager token, which is VGX, into Coinify's cryptocurrency payment platform, a wholly owned Voyager subsidiary that provides merchant payment services to 150 countries. Now, this tells you a couple of things. One, it tells you that Voyager is doing this. Number two, it tells you that Humble has some competition on a number of its programs. And number three, as I've already explained, it tells you that in just the short period of time, in about the last 2 weeks, they have gone up 100%. So what that also tells me is that when you take a stock like Humble, that's also kind of news that if Humble, where people keep bemoaning the down price of it, it also tells you how fast these stocks can move upward when you get some movement, some positive developments. Excuse me, another spam call. When you get some upward movement and some positive developments. And this is also why I say that Humble is a very dynamic company and can be putting out its news, its information, and that's the kind of thing that can grow up, not grow up, blow up the stock in a short amount of time. So I just wanted to primarily bring that to your attention. Obviously, there wasn't a whole lot of news. It was kind of a down day on Wall Street for a lot of stocks. And when we look at the scoreboard here, I'll just read it off. One of the big movers that I did talk about just the other day, reminding you, Tom David, TTD, which is Trade Desk, went up 9.4% today, which is an $8 movement upward to 97.04. Voyager, as we've covered, is up 7% today. InMode up about 1%, now at $95. And ILUS, which I mentioned recently, but haven't discussed it too much, is up to 46 cents, which is about a 0.6% move today, 0.6%. Forwardly, we haven't talked about too much. Of course, kind of a trailer stock to Humble in many ways. I'm not sure if George Sharp would agree with that, but that was up barely, about 1.7%, 0.17%. And it is now at 8 cents a share, and they are going to be having their earnings report coming out. I know George Sharp tweeted, I don't remember when that was. I don't have it in front of me, but that earnings is going to be coming out. So that's basically it. I didn't have a whole lot of time. I had over an hour long phone call, actually on both Voyager and Big Digital Assets. Big Digital Assets today didn't really do much of anything. That is BBK as in King, C as in Charlie, F as in Frank. Again, a Canadian company. There are reasons to think that Big and Voyager could be moving upwards. And we had my friend telling me, actually Arthur Wilkes, who we interviewed in the past and was telling us about this. Arthur thinks that Voyager could be a $40 stock before too long. So I'm not saying that. He's saying that. I'm trying to bring it to your attention what some of these movers are. With Humble, we are in the blockchain technology. They are tangentially more in the crypto platform, but not directly with Humble. You do have blocks, which Brian Foote is associated with. And all of this stuff is kind of, you might say, in the realm, but it's not exactly the same thing. So Voyager is not a direct competitor with Humble. It does compete on some levels, but I think Humble ultimately, down the road, will probably be known more for the peer-to-peer and hopefully also the NFTs and the tokenization of real estate, which I think could be massive. But, we're going to have to wait for some of those developments. In the meantime, I'm looking forward with Humble to see where they're going with the ticketing and, to get a glimmer of any of the other items that kind of recently opened up. And if anything, or what are we doing on ETXs? So that's all good. It's just going to take a while for Humble to get their earnings out because when we get the third quarter, it's like I said before, it's not going to really tell us just a whole lot. But folks, that's it. I won't belabor the point. For now, I'm going to keep following some of these companies like Big and crypto. You have people in this field like Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, like Mark Cuban, And these are stocks also to watch and where you could possibly get in this whole new realm of the tidal wave of digital currencies, stable coins, blockchain. You want to keep your eye on more than one player, and that's what we're doing at Money and Politics Now. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night. In the meantime, be good, enjoy your evening, and I'll say goodbye for now. Leave me a comment if you would, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. Thanks so much. Take care.